Tagazani, I am Pabadimu, the advocate of Ilozi, and once again I welcome you to my channel and thank you so much for choosing to view my video. We are on a road to 17,000 YouTube subscribers, so if you're watching and still haven't subscribed, where in the Ilozi have you been? I suggest you subscribe right now and hit the notification button so that you can receive notification that I'm uploading new content to the channel. So everybody, I welcome you to channel Takeover. I have decided to give away 5 videos to 5 lucky subscribers who have asked to supply us with topics so that I could share on your topic, or rather something you've been dying for us to share about. So I will be touching on that for the next 5 videos. So on today's video, our topic was supplied by Ukhone Mokajane. So I just hope I didn't butcher your name. I just said everything the way it is. Ukhone supplied to us a topic about prophecy. So with these 5 videos coming up, in case we don't get to put everything up in one video, we will expand, or rather dissect more when we hit our live session, and we will carry on where we left off. So allow me to take part and educate with you while you take charge of the channel and allow me to do my work. So I'll be sharing on that today. We'll be speaking about prophecy. So anything and everything that we did not share, I would gladly be willing to expand on that when we move to our live session. So allow me to begin because class is in session. So prophecy is one of those confusing things when it comes to things, especially spirituality, because people tend to confuse themselves and it always leaves them in a place of, miscommunication or days and all these other things, because you are being told one thing and the next you hear another thing. So we need to understand that when it comes to our boxed African spirituality, we understand something. Speaking about prophecy, we're always thinking about someone that is wearing his piga, someone that is what's about doing all these funny things when we think about prophecy. And that's all the things that we always think about, because spirituality is supposed to be freedom. But because I think to a certain extent, Tina, as abantu abamnyama are so used to being programmed, or rather controlled by a system, we are doing the same thing to our African spirituality and losing the freedom and liberation that comes with it. Because now these days, if you're not this, you are that, and if you're not that, you are this, and if you're not either, you do not have a place in our African spirituality, whereby it is wrong. So coming back to the topic at hand, speaking about prophecy. Prophecy is a prediction, or being able to see what is going to come, or the future, or forthcoming news, whatever the case might be. So prophecy belongs, or rather reigns, in all of us spiritually. It's just that some of us do not know how to harness the gift, and some of us have the gift but do not really know, because we're afraid of the stigmas that our spiritual society has brought about. Ukuthi wena uyisangoma, uma uyisangoma, it means ushaya amathambo, uyabhula, and wena unesithunya noma wena unesporafita, and then that tends to confuse people a lot of the time. So when you have your third eye opened, or when your spiritual gift is at work, you receive news from Amadlozi, the spiritual realm, because in most cases anything prophetic is always linked to inkolo noma inkonzo, because they say that you are getting direct messages from angels or God, or rather the Holy Spirit, as though they might say. So when it comes to our African spirituality, depending to how vast your knowledge is to your spiritual life, you might refer to your angels as izinyanya zako, or rather your ancestors, or the likes, because lento etina esitim, the Holy Spirit, it is what is tunya when it comes to our African spirituality. I'm not actually gonna let my earring drop like that. I planned my outfit today. I just feel like singing, saying get right over now. Okay. Okay, so it is what we call the Holy Spirit, uma unesithunywa, because your Holy Spirit acts as an advocate, a messenger in your life. So sometimes we always confuse ourselves, because uma into singayifanisi with a particular religion or a systematic belief, then it is ununderstandable to an African ear. So we need to let go of that and be open-minded. So into yokuba a prophetic way, or a prophetic gift, or a prophetic calling, or whatever the case might be, right? It is that you are able to see, or rather get messages from the Spirit of things to come, of things to happen. That is why even in our dreams, uzopupa, if there's someone pregnant in the house, you're going to dream of dirty water. If there's an accident about to happen, you're going to dream of that. If guza isifo, you're going to dream of that. That alone is a prophecy happening in your life. And who brings that prophecy? It is our angels, our guardians, sending our messengers, is to come and deliver leo milayezo yetu in our dreams. Because sometimes not all our angels, or rather izinyanya zethu, are able to access. So that is why we have our messengers of spirit that are able to guard us, or rather spirit guides or guards that are able to walk with us and lead us to the messages that we need. So what happens to someone that has a spirit, a prophetic gift, or rather someone that uyaphupha, uyabonisa izinto? Well, with all of those things, we all have a gift, right? It's just that I would always say that we have these abilities, these beautiful spiritual abilities, but because yonke into, we've given it a name or a uniform, we never really get to understand what is this gift. If your child today is able to communicate with those that are not of this world, we necessarily don't give them a chance to grow in their gift, because they're speaking to ancestors, not understanding what bridge are they standing in for, because we are all mediums of the spirit, but it is which bridge are you standing for? Are you able to relay messages of healing, or you are there to be a medium to relay messages of hope to those that need healing, or imilizer from those that are passed on, to be able to tell them that this is what you need to do? Or your work is to be a medium, to be able to send out sicknesses in people's lives, or be able to align situations in people's lives. That's what we forget, and that is where it all goes wrong. Because now we're thinking that it is what it is, and you are meant to be a sangoma, and a sangoma is someone that uses amatambo, and a sangoma, it's someone that uses that. Dala, you were not taught itambo. Itambo, you would know of it, because your messenger would be able to relay the message to you in your spirit. Uguti, this is the message at hand. We would see bones, but what when you would see would not necessarily be amatambo, but be a translation of the messages of spirit. So that alone is a prophetic gift, because kuyahluka emsam uguti umuntu inhlolo noma indlela aphiwe ngayo ubonani. Because that is why sithi umuntu unikezwe ini isikhwama sakho silapha ini, because logo esikulaphayo, that is what's going to be able to come forth. Uma uthi emntwini, give me your surname, you are able to drag ama files as I spiritually, and you are given the ones that you are able to work with. That is why sometimes I will have a problem with someone that says I'm a jack of all trades, because I feel that lo muntu has walked so many doors, and because they've walked so many doors, they think they have it all. Ganti, no, for you to discover yourself, you walk so many doors because of a lack of identification of who and what you are spiritually. This topic goes on and on. I'm just trying to curb it because the files are just coming in numbers, but we will keep it moving. So apologies for the lighting changing. We are using Ukamata's lighting today, so it's gonna go dim, it's gonna go bright, because we are using the natural lighting. So in terms of someone having a prophetic gift, right, bengakhonakali ukuthi kudala kuvisiseke noma kube ne understanding in terms of what is your gift? Kahle kahle wena uphiwe kanjani, because you would not necessarily ubona mabai or not necessarily, but you would see water, and esontweni your gift will be hyped up, and you would then be told ukuthi no wena unesporofito awunawo amadlozi. But the miscommunication is wena awusona isangoma, because umuntu isangoma fuze ahambe mhlambe ayothwasa asuka thathela isikhwama sakhe, because remember, all the gifts we carry are a lineage or a bloodline that we carry with us. So we need to stop this thing of, you know, blindsiding people or blindfolding people and dictating to them and saying no wena umprofiti because awunawo amadlozi. Sonke sihamba namadlozi. Those are our guardians, those are our protectors, those are our entourage. But then the differences is when it comes to isipho itself. So prophecy is the ability to be able to see what comes in the future. But now kuhluka ngokuthi, are you being called to work? Because you might have visions. You are kunabantu that are good bayaphupha banesipho sokuphupha, because I always believe that everyone has a spiritual right. But then kunabantu that are gifted, you know, banobizo in that way ukuthi they need to work. Umuntu akakwazi ukuziphuphela loyo muntu loyo, even if they do. Like I always say, sometimes your gift is useless to the owner, you know, but they are able to work for other people or work with other people. Then you are able, Guti, you dream about certain things and you are able to relay those messages, or rather you're able to work or tell things to come, or whatever the case might be. And so in most cases, sometimes people go through extreme lengths to achieve that prophetic gift, because we've been made to believe that someone oporofitayo has got a VXP excess next to God, you know, and they get all the messages directly from God, not understanding Guti, there's ways spirituality works. So it's about someone that has illuminated their gift, because necessarily when it comes to a prophetic gift, kuyahluka, because in some cases abantu they end up being leaders of congregations, or noma umuntu ethathe but maybe akayithathanga ngesintu noma ithathe ngesintu, end up leading churches under, you know, African spirituality, because there is a box that kumele isipho sakho sihambelane with the religion or sihambelane nenkolo ethizeni, not understanding. But these days it's very confusing, because people go through extreme lengths to achieve the depth of prophecy. Abantu baneyilwana abasebenzisayo to be able to foretell things about you, to be able to see things about you. Because the minute I have a gift, but you know, I cannot use it, it is very easy for someone to trap you and play around with you. But sometimes you become vulnerable, because people are able to just tell you things off the top of their head, knowing that it's general knowledge. You know, you never really know, is this a legit prophecy or is it not? So a prophecy iyahluka. Abantu bathwala amaBhayibheli bahambe bayoyifuna emasontweni, bese kunabantu abahambayo bayokhulula igcathulo bayofuna that prophecy. Because umuhamba uyohlola, you are going to get a prophecy whether you like it or not, depending ngaloyo mgoma ukuthi sebenza ini. That is why we say we are mediums, you know, umasibega in a Western manner, because the gifts vary, the gifts are vast. That is why you need to know umnyango okokodagu ukuthi lo muntu uzongisiza ngani noma ngiyele ina. Always say have a reason and a purpose as into why you're going for that consultation, because where you're going, not only because abantu sesimosheke kakhulu, every time you go for a consultation you're always expecting to hear news about uyaloyiwa, your feet are aching, your body's wobbling like jelly. We're always expecting to hear those things, not understanding Guti. The minute you go there, you are going to hear messages of healing from loyo muntu loyo, and umatala shaya matambo. It's a prophetic thing that they are doing, because they are foretelling situations around you, you know, because in most cases, before we get to solve a problem at the top, we need to go to the back, because amadlozi and the penzani akipa ama files our letter, our begalana, and you get this line of things being foretold about you. Ye wena gogo yazini into zakho bezikhanya noma empilweni yakho kuzolunga uma ungabe ungayenza kanje. That is a prophecy. So we dissect prophecy into many different areas. The only confusion is with us people. Ukuthi prophecy to see tola gupi ganjani, and how we accept or rather appreciate the type of prophecy we are getting in our lives. So Emerson, they'll come on you and prophesy, you are wearing a grand red underwear, you are carrying a Nokia Alka, you are carrying all those things. We get excited because those are the types of things we want to hear. And it's always a case of give the people what they want so that they come back and give what you want. And we forget the whole notion around that. So we don't necessarily get to tell people in that sphere, fix your life, in case, because abantu have become addicted to always hearing things about them. Because sometimes go to this church, and then you just are confused, more confused than you've ever been. So Emerson needs to make you understand, if you're under any congregate or whatever the case might be, if you have a gift, they will never say to you, Uyisangoma. They will say, Umporofit. Because that you are able to foresee or foretell, because izinto khulumayo are things to come or things that have happened, because whatever you're giving that person is a baton to be able to move forward. But if you're not in the church, then utiwa, you are a sangoma, because uyaboniswa. That is when kuhluka, because I think we've made a line, Tina, as people who say it's either you for the church and not in the church. And when you're not in the church, you work for those underground people. And if you're in the church, uzoithatha kanje, anyeke kuye you understand that you will uzoithatha kanje, izoba kanje for you, in case you know you don't want it like that. So I think we need to reach a point whereby sivumela izipho zethu ziziveze, or rather amadlozi wethu aziveze ngendlela afuna ukuthi avele ngayo, not ngendlela thina that we want to dictate to our people. My earring, I try to clip it, but it just comes out. Okay, let me try fix it for the last time, because it has a clip here at the end. No, I appreciate my efforts, Shem. Today I made an effort. So it is that. So I think that is when abantu baba confused ukuthi ini ngines prophet mina noma ngini, because I would always get the question that she's a prophet, but I also have a speaker. So does that make me lesser or more because of the situations we are under? No, it's in the line of work that we are in. Uma usebenzisa ini isipho sakho kuyafana nabo doctor. I always make that example. Kuno doctor wamazinyo, kuno doctor wamehlo, kuno doctor weinyawo, kunama specialist wamehlo, kunama specialist weinyawo. So that is, I think, where we tend to maybe feel confused, or rather conflicted, and not necessarily get the full gist and understanding. Good say prophecy guthiwani lana ngiyahlolwa noma ngiyaprofita esontweni ngiyahlolwa. It's just that iyabekwa kuthiwe you are being prophesied, because if someone is going to tell you you were dating a man that was white in color 2013, uyahlolwa lapho. Inhlolo lezo just kuthi awukhululanga icansulo and awuhlelanga icansini akulayitwa ngampepho, but you are being useyinhlolweni, you understand. But esontweni they will glamorize it, or rather make it sound nice that you're receiving a prophecy. It is the word from God. And uma nathi sisebenza as abantu sebenza ngesintu, we connect to the creator, or rather we connect to God. Just to be basic, we connect to God before we do any work, because how on earth or how on Josie's name am I going to be able to receive or get ama files ngawe if I'm not connecting myself to the Spirit? Because the one, or rather the Almighty in charge of the Spirit, is our creator. Then we have our angels, and then we have the messengers that we walk with. Then kuba ngalendlela ekuba ngayo. So we should stop confusing ourselves. Kuthiwe no kuno mama ongale bathi loya uyaprofita, or kuno baba ongale bathi loya uyahlola. Kuyindlela okungayo. It's just that yay, we have put it differently, or we have given it names so it feels better. Ungathiwa hayi ngihambile ngayobona isangoma, no ngihambile ngayobona umprofeti, because naye umprofeti uzokuhlola, umprofeti uzokukhiphela amanzi noma akhiphele ikhandlela noma akhiphele umetshisi noma kuhlole ngani. But at the end of the day, yinhlolo lezo osukuzitholayo, because when our third eyes are open or our spiritual inclinations are open, we are given an insight into the spiritual to be able to give people messages of healing and progress. So in order to access lezo zinto lezo, we need to be able to give you a spiritual reading. So the differences comes in the departments that we fall under. If I am a sangoma, obviously the type of spiritual reading that you are gonna get will involve me ukshisimpepho, me ukulaita makandlela, or me ukshaya matambo. And if you're gonna go to umprofeti, they will read you ngamanzi. Kunabanye that use the Bible, kunabanye that use certain things. That is why kuba nale hlaka le ebakhona ezangomeni uzobathi umuntu no mina nginesprofiti mara ngisangoma, and I look at you like amaguphi lama nicknames owahlafunayo, because it's the same thing. You're just mixing two things and making yourself confused, you know. That is why I will never say ngumprofiti or ngini ngisangoma. That is that. And you respect my work and respect the title I carry, because even when we say sisenzi misebenzi, or you can take umprofiti uthathe sangoma, kunezangoma ezisebenza njengamaprofiti. So are we gonna look at those people and say they're not sangoma enough or in the wrong places? Sometimes yes, they're in the wrong faculties because of some greedy gobelas. They don't want to be open-minded or not. That is why we need to be careful ngalento yokuthwasa, because in most cases uma sithwasa kusuke kunendlela ebakhona noma isikhwama esebekhona ekhaya ukuthi nothina siye ngomeni and we siyabangoma siyagida senza loku. But nabo abaprofiti, they do gida, bayashaya igubha ngisho emasontweni, they do sing, but you know, we live on vibrations of energies and music and all these things that calm our spirit. So I hope I did much justice to the topic, but you can actually leave your comments below, although it leaves my lips, or rather my mouth, still watering for more, because it is a YouTube channel at the end of the day, and we can only go so far when it comes to the content that we want to give out. But I think I did much justice, because I did share about this. It's just today I was touching on and making us aware. My type of view on spirituality is liberation and freedom. I don't necessarily box people. If really we were to box people, I'd honestly say, Nami, I'm in the wrong field of work, because I wear the title of Isangoma, but when it comes to the work or how I carry out my work, it will not necessarily fit the criterias of being a sangoma. I give up. I give up. So it will not necessarily fit the criterias of being isangoma, but what can I say at the end of the day? Because it is what we have made, or rather turned, our African spirituality to be. So go do your homework, go do your research, you know. Don't be confused and leave yourself conflicted and feeling more lost than it is. It is just in Lela that the works are carried out that differs, or sometimes even then Lela, because kwakudala into ehlangana nobungoma noma into ehlangana nokushisa impepho was belittled or made to look dirty. So that is why our nations fled to churches, but they still get the revivals that they need. They still get these all things they need. I also light a candle. I also carry a speaker. I also have a duke. I also, you know, use water. So am I supposed to be lesser of a sangoma because of what? Let us be free in our gifts and stop judging us and stop blocking us and stop limiting us, you know. That is why you tend to find these confused sangomas that call themselves mediums. You're a black child, Nunus. You're a sangoma. A medium, yes, muntu vele in a Western manner. Owenza lo msebenzi swinza, because nabo basuke bashaya inhlolo, whether they are either connecting to the direct to the spirit of that is deceased, or they are connecting to the spiritual realm to get messages from you. They're reading through a crystal ball, they're reading amakati, what they're reading your palm, whatever the case might be. Okusalayo, we are gatekeepers of some spiritual lineage or gift of some sort, and we are the medium in between the spiritual and the physical, and we've been chosen to carry out the work and carry the load because we stand the gap between amadlozi wethu nalaba abaphilayo, especially if you received an inheritance of a gift. So we live with prophecy also ourselves. Our ancestors are working 24/7 to bring us those gifts. You might think your angels wear a halo and I have blonde hair. Well, my angels, for doll, you know. So it is up to us. It is preference when it comes to that. But I think we should just calm down when it comes to all these terms that leave people confused, because that is why people are confused. They are. So sometimes you might find in a corner, whoever's giving you a gift, it was conflicted and they were found in the house of a church. And that is why Batinawe, no, Ogogo says carry out your gift esontweni when you don't do that. Or sometimes isonto lako limits you to carry out your spiritual gift because izangoma, or rather other gifts, other spiritual gift of connecting with the spirit or those that have deceased are not really recognized esontweni. You know, there are hierarchies to this, and if you don't fit the hierarchy, the quickest option they can give you is that wena umporofiti. So it is what it is, but we keep it moving at the end of the day. So I am Pobadimo, the advocate of the lozis, with the earrings that fell off. I don't know if maybe today the wardrobe stylist, the lozi wardrobe stylist was like no earrings, but I felt like wearing earrings. I felt like I winning my shower something. Get out of no. But anyway, we're not there. So thank you so much for coming through to view my video. So 4 more videos to go. So like I said, I will randomly pick the topics and I'll supply the content for these coming 4 videos to go. So I will definitely see you on the next video. Tell your friends, tell your family that the advocate of Ilozi is back. And yeah, back. We are back. We are back. So thank you so much. Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Do follow me on Instagram. I am at Mpwabadimu. And also do like this video and subscribe if you still haven't. Thank you so much for coming through. Thokozani.